will enter a plea of not guilty. With more on the charges, here's the CBC's Dave Sager.
Here's this news on this. There's the there's a very 19th on CBC read.
Paid to the tune of $47 million in bribes to the regime to get contracts. The second charge alleges fraud by that entity, but ultimately from the Libyan government that took $129 million diverted from a major water project. Those are the unproven allegations from the RCMP. This is going to court. This hasn't been settled behind the scenes, which means there's going to be a court fight and the potential for the company to face hundreds of millions of dollars in fines. And the big question for the company and its future survival, if this company is indeed convicted of these allegations, they would potentially be barred from bidding on federal contracts. That means the company, which currently holds all manner of construction, building management contracts across the country for a decade, could be debarred, and that is the lifeblood of the Canadian business.
That's Dave Sager's reporting. A 3-year-old boy who walked away from a Toronto apartment building around 4 o'clock this morning into sub-zero temperatures has been found. Volunteer searchers found him after nearly 6 hours in the cold. He was wearing just a light shirt and some boots. Paramedics say he had no vital signs being located. The boy was taken to hospital in ambulance. Top military officials and defense experts are meeting today for the Ottawa Conference on Security and Defense. Defense Minister Jason Kenney delivered a speech this morning and suggested the government is reviewing a possible extension of Canada's 6-month military mission in Iraq.
The federal cabinet will soon make an assessment of the progress of that mission today before deciding on options for potential renewal of this operation and seeking an endorsement for it from Parliament.
There are 69 Canadian Special Forces troops working on the ground with Iraqi forces, in addition to 600 personnel who are engaged in coalition airstrikes. And in Washington, U.S. President Barack Obama delivered a key address at the Summit on Countering Violent Extremism. Obama says the West is not at war with Islam, but only those who have perverted the religion.
We have to confront the warped ideologies espoused by terrorists like Al-Qaeda and ISIL, especially their attempt to use Islam to justify their violence. And all of us have a responsibility to refute the notion that groups like ISIL somehow represent Islam, because that is a falsehood that embraces the terrorist narrative.
The conference brings together government representatives from over 60 countries. They're looking at how governments can counter violent ideologies at home and abroad. These include improving programs targeting poverty and education. Public Safety Minister Stephen Blaney is participating in the summit. Ukrainian President Petro Poroshenko is calling on the UN to deploy a peacekeeping force to monitor the Ukrainian-Russian ceasefire. CBC's Nala Ayed reports.
With the development of the battle petering out after Ukraine's withdrawal yesterday, it has gone fairly quiet in this region. There are some small exceptions, like the shelling on the outskirts here of Donetsk, but it's likely the quietest in East Ukraine since the last ceasefire took effect last year. But development is still dominating the news. Many Ukrainian soldiers were injured in the retreat yesterday and others have been captured. And there are contradictions in the number of soldiers being reported having been killed there. So there are still many questions that need to be answered. But some quiet is holding and the ceasefire is still on the table. And the Ukrainian President Petro Poroshenko today called for UN peacekeepers to be deployed in East Ukraine to help maintain that ceasefire. He said that would help guarantee security in a situation where, quote, the promise of peace is not being kept. Nala Ayed, CBC News in Donetsk, East Ukraine.
And that's the CBC News to the South. I'm Dwight.
Classical Footnotes with Catherine Duncan. Stravinsky once wrote a ballet for elephants. It was called 50 Elephants and 50 Beautiful Girls in an original choreographic tour de force. Stravinsky never actually saw the ballet, but he did get to shake the foot of a